What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the 26th episode, 26th installment, 26th time you're seeing my face. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Had a crazy week last week with Hurricane Ida. Didn't make it back home. Was insanely tired. Had to catch up on a lot of things. So just didn't do it last week. It's my apologies, but I felt like the zombie apocalypse. Honestly, I was like trapped in a building. I had to sleep on my conference room floor. It was pretty wild, but we're back. Football is basically back. So this episode of the Leadoff is going to be me talking football. I know some of you guys want those MLB plays, but I'll put those out later. And it'll be what it is. We're gonna dive right into football. And it's only NFC today, so we're just doing straight NFC stuff. Just going down the list. So where we're gonna start off. I'm actually wearing a bootleg Patrick Mahomes jersey because I think I bought it for like 2 Super Bowls ago or whatever. I don't know. Only jersey I have of a football jersey because the Giants are just. There's been no one I wanted to get a jersey of in the longest time, and I outgrew all my Eli jerseys or whatever. So we're gonna start with the NFC least with that little intro. I'm gonna go down the list here. Just a quick run through of what I think here. You have the Cowboys as the favorites of the division, easily, to be honest, because if Dak is healthy, they should be the favorites. And no one should argue that at all. But I'm going to go through and see which teams, what they did in the offseason, just some quick little stuff, and just see the whole. Maybe I'll do like 1 or 2 words, right? Or like a phrase that defines their season. I think Colin Cowherd does this every now and then. So you know what? Shout out to him. I'm going to do the same thing. So we have the Cowboys. I'm going to call this Double D. The Double D is a question mark. Kevin, Washington division. I don't know. Double D here. You have Dak and you have the defense, right? Is Dak healthy? Is Dak good? Is Dak? And then the defense going to be better. You brought in Dan Quinn to be the new coordinator. You're hoping you're a little bit better defensively. But if Dak is healthy and the defense is a little bit better, and that O-line can be a fraction of how good it was before, they should be the clear favorites. Now, another interesting stat before I dive into the football team is since 2004, there has been a different division winner every year since. So in the last 16 years, this is now the 17th year, there's been no one has repeated division winners. Last team to do so was the Eagles in 2003, 2004. And that brings us to this year because the football team won it last year, which in my mind, I take them right off the list. And that's just because I don't really trust Fitzmagic. Their defense is, in my opinion, top 5. They're probably like ranked 6 or 7 or something like that. But they're top 5 defense. Chase Young's a stud. He should have another breakout year. But just the offense is just. They have great weapons. They do have a pretty dynamic offense if you think about the weapons. But just the quarterback situation is. I don't trust it. I really don't. I think they could be winning in the beginning of the season and then stop. I don't really trust Heineke coming out too. So just in that standpoint, I'm going to say no. But I'm not going to say you picking the Washington football team to win the division is a bad bet because I think you could pick any team between the Cowboys, the Washington football team, or the Giants, and I would think that they can hit. I don't think the Eagles have a chance. Speaking of which, we'll go right to the Eagles. Sirianni, I don't trust as a coach. First time doing it. He's like 40 years old. And you have a quarterback who's never done it before in Jalen Hurts. The O-line is deceivingly good. They were not healthy last year. So if that O-line can stay healthy, they'll have a good O-line. And then Jalen Hurts can do what he does. But I just don't think they're there yet. I don't think anybody does either, to be honest. They could shock people. Who knows? This division's a crapshoot. The Giants, Daniel Jones, do or die. It's Danny Dimes or nothing. They got Kenny Galladay. You got Devontae Booker. You got Saquon coming back. You got Kyle Rudolph the red zone reindeer. So it's just like you got all this offense. The defense is solid. But Danny Dimes, turnover machine. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a realistic Giants fan. I do think you could bet them to win the division at plus 450, and I think it's a decent play. Um, but if I had a gun to my head, I'm picking the Cowboys at plus 150, and that's just because I think they have healthy quarterbacks aligned. He's the best one, and no team has that much of an advantage. I mean, the Washington football team can make him hustle, can make him get out of his thing. I do think the Cowboys go 5-1 division. They could go 4-2. I think both losses would be to the Washington football team just because they'd keep Dak at bay. But I'm gonna take the plus money here and just go Cowboys. Going on to the NFC North. We'll go straight to it. We'll go to the Packers. Aaron Rodgers revenge season. You know, we're gonna say it how it is. They just went to the NFC Championship game. Coaching error. Rodgers is done. Devontae Adams is done. I'm not saying done is like they're washed, but like this is it. This is it. Do or die. Throw everything against the wall. See what sticks. Super Bowl or bust for them. And I think they have a tough division as always. The Vikings. They got Xavier Woods. They drafted 5 defensive players. The defense couldn't have been worse. The Vikings probably blew a million leads last year. But they bolstered their defense. Mike Zimmer, he's probably a little on his way out as a coach, just on like the mental side of things. I don't like the Vikings, but I think they could be a tough out, especially in Minnesota. The Lions, I'm not even going to talk about them. They have Jared Goff, and that's it. Got rid of Kenny Galladay as well. They're just I like some of their young weapons, but they're not going to win many football games. They're going to leave it at that. The Bears, if winner wire losing here, I think the Bears have a decent team. I think Allen Robinson is one of the most underrated wide receivers. I think Fields is a stud, but Dalton's going to start, and if he starts 4, 5, 6 games, and they go 2-4, that's when Fields would come in. At that point, it's going to be too late to catch Rodgers. Fields would have to come in like week 3 for me to even give them a chance. But even then, the Packers are just too good. I'm not going to bet this on a straight bet, but the Packers to win the NFC North is going to be my play. It's minus 160. This division is just not that. It's not what it used to be. Now, honestly, the whole NFC is kind of boring. The AFC is where it gets real interesting. I have some dark horse teams in the AFC that I love. The AFC is just so much more interesting, so much more better teams stacked in divisions. So AFC is going to be a lot more fun than this. But I figured I'd get the NFC out the way first. We're going to go to the NFC South. And that is going to be the main storyline, I guess, is whether famous Jameis is going to take the Saints all the way. Many people think not so much. I personally love the Saints roster. I think Jameis Winston has a chance. I think just Jameis Winston is the perfect guy to break someone's season because he risks it for the biscuit. He just goes for it. He could lose by 40, but he could also win by 40. He could have 6 touchdowns. He could have 6 picks. You never know what you're going to get. I know he had surgery on his eyes. I think he'll be a little bit better in the Saints team. I can't tell if they want to rebuild or if they want to keep pushing for it, but they have some Michael Thomas drama. I'm not sure what you're going to get. But if there was any team to win this division besides the Bucs, it would be the Saints. The Falcons, just don't think that there's a defensive side of the ball. Ever. They got Kyle Pitts. Got rid of Julio, but he was I think he's kind of on the way out anyway. He didn't catch a touchdown anyway, so he's like the worst red zone target for an elite wide receiver ever. Calvin Ridley is going to go off. So many weapons on that Falcons roster. I mean, the over-under it has to be at least 55 like every single game. They have no defense, and they probably have a more powering offense now. So one of my favorite things to do in the Falcons is live bet them to lose when they're winning. Or vice versa, because they could just do whatever they want on the offensive end if they get lucky defensively, or they just get a couple stops. And then the Panthers is the last team. Sam Darnold, Matt Rule. I don't know. I used to see Sam Darnold at Five Guys when I was in college a couple years ago, and he just does not look. He does not look like a division winner to me. He's probably a little wonkier than Eli was, honestly, just in that character. So it's gonna be the Bucks. Again, you can't really do a. If I had to pick a dark horse, it would be the Saints. I don't really see anybody else doing it, to be honest. And this is the fun one. This is the fun one right here. You have the NFC West. You have the 49ers, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Cardinals. Anyone can win this division. Anybody. I have my favorite who I think is going to win. But I'm really having a hard time debating between two teams here. And some of you guys are going to be mad. It's not the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, great quarterback. He runs too much. I think if you force him to pass, you're going to have a little bit easier of a time. I think they could win some games for sure, but in the long term, I think they're not going to win it. I also don't think it's going to be the Seahawks. I love Russell Wilson. I think he's a stud. Russell Wilson's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, no doubt. One of the best quarterbacks ever, no doubt. But their O-line's trash. Pete Carroll. You have weapons, but teams just seem to figure them out last year. The defense isn't what it used to be. I just don't. Russell can only do so much. I think if they lose again, Russell's out too. I don't know. It just doesn't seem likely for me. I hope he proves me wrong. I really do hope he proves me wrong. And the two teams I'm deciding between are the 49ers and the Rams. My cousin is a huge Matt Stafford fan. He's a Lions fan. So I've been keeping up with Matt Stafford for years. One of my favorite quarterbacks, honestly. If you haven't seen his video of him fake spiking and then just diving in and going crazy when he's mic'd up, one of the most electric videos you'll ever see on the internet in the NFL. The defense is good. Defense lost about 4 starters. You need a new defensive coordinator because there's left to go take the coaching job. It's a system team, right? You have McVay in his system. And if you have Jared Goff and you can make the playoffs in the system, I think you can go crazier with Matt Stafford. A lot of people think Matt Stafford's numbers are inflated because they lose all the time. Which makes a little sense, but if you watch Matt Stafford, the dude is an absolute certified stud, man. And the 49ers, listen, they're great. Kittle coming back. They were injury ridden last year. The 49ers are going to be a tough out. Shanahan's tough. It's going to be a great division to watch. I do think I give the edge to the Rams at plus 200. And that's just because I don't trust Jimmy G. But their team is loaded, man. And I think Matt Stafford on this Rams team is going to go absolutely crazy, if we're being honest. I think he's going to go absolutely crazy. Now, there are some season awards I wanted to do because, listen, the AFC, so much better, right? You have literally more jacked conferences. You have the AFC West, which is the Chiefs are just going to win, but those Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, one of those teams might make the playoffs. AFC North is Steelers, Ravens, Browns. Who are you going to go with? And then the AFC South is Titans or Colts. You have a lot of good, juicy stuff, which we will talk about tomorrow. And I have some surprise picks I think you guys might hate, but it is what it is. I'm going to go with my NFL comeback player of the year. These odds dropped so much, but it's Dak Prescott is 100% my comeback player of the year. And it could be Jameis. Jameis at plus 1,000 because he's going to have the stats. He's going to have the stats to go absolutely bonkers, especially if they're losing games. He's going to go crazy. And then NFL Offensive Player of the Year award, you can easily go Dalvin Cook or Aaron Rodgers for some value. Listen, the NFC is just boring. It is boring stuff. My problem with Stafford MVP is that he's in a system offense. So I don't think he's going to be throwing. And the Rams love to run the ball. Losing Cam Akers was tough, but they love to run the ball. So I don't know if an MVP bet's going to work for him because I don't think the numbers are going to be there. I think the team will be there, but I don't think the numbers are going to be there. And you could get the Rams to win the conference at plus 700. Right here. Rams win the conference at plus 700. And I'm going to tell you why. So in my playoff simulator, or if you want to predict yours, it's kind of hard to do right now. I usually do it with like a couple weeks left, but you go to playoffpredictors.com and you can predict literally every game of the season. I did mine real quick just to see who I think would make the playoffs. And I had the Packers as my 1 seed, the Bucks as the 2 seed, Rams as the 3, Cowboys at the 4 because those are the division winners. 5 was the 49ers, Seattle at 6, and the Giants at 7. And then I had San Francisco and Dallas. Then I had the Rams and the Seahawks, and then the Bucks and the Giants. And I had the Bucks beating the Giants, the Rams beating the Seahawks, and the 49ers beating the Cowboys, which in turn led me to the Rams and the Bucks, and then the 49ers and the Packers. And I had the Packers beating the Niners off the bye, and I had the Rams beating the Bucks because I think they get to Brady, and I just think the Bucks got really lucky last year. I know Tom Brady's an absolute beast, but I think they got a little lucky. Honestly, I think that luck runs out a little bit. I have a Packers-Rams NFC Championship game, and I have the Rams winning the NFC, and you can get it at plus 700. That is my NFC take. Any questions, comments, concerns on the Rams or anything? I will tell you tomorrow when we go through the AFC that I have my MVP pick for the AFC that is not Mahomes. It's not going to be who you think. And I have some surprising dark horse teams that I'm really excited about. So the AFC is what I'm going to show a lot more about. So we're going to have a lot more fun tomorrow. I love it, Stafford. I love it. And again, my baseball plays will be out later. We'll be posting them soon, but this is my comments coming through. I like your predictions, Allen, for MVP. I will not tell you if it's Josh Allen or not. It might be, it might not be. I love my MVP pick, and most people hate it. So maybe it's not Allen. Most people hate it. So we'll see. This is my predictions here. Again, I think the NFC is very boring. Like really boring. I think we're not going to see too many crazy things. But it is what it is. The AFC, though, I got my MVP. I might have my Super Bowl winners. I don't know. We're going to find out. Let me know if you guys think this hits, though. So I'm a big futures bet guy where I we'll do futures parlays. I cashed the one. It was a free bet for $10,000 just because when COVID happened, it was someone win the Stanley Cup, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, Dodgers to win the World Series, and it was from the one when the Chiefs won 2 years ago. But I have a futures bet still open. That is, it was Italy to win the Euros, which they did. The Bucks to win the NBA Finals when they were already in it. And then the Dodgers to win the World Series, and the Rams to win the Super Bowl, and 25 pays $6,000. So the Dodgers win the World Series, I can technically get the Rams to win for $6,000, which I'll easily hedge because I'm not an idiot. But will be fun to watch. So that kind of goes hand in hand where we're at. Hopefully that cashes. But that's it. Again, I have my MVP bet for tomorrow. I have a couple dark horse plays for divisions too that I like, or to make the playoffs. AFC's gonna be a lot of fun. Who's gonna make it out between the Ravens, Browns, Steelers? Is it Titans or Colts? Is it the Chiefs or the Raiders, Chargers, or Broncos gonna make it? Or the Bills gonna win the division? Or the Dolphins and Patriots gonna make them sweat a little bit? Who knows? Find out tomorrow with my AFC predictions, and let's get some money today. Let's get some money all day. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up around here. And if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, guys. Let's go Giants, right?